Oh yeah. Like, hey, we're talking about, you know, you know, a good bite or something somewhere happening.
Hmm. Yeah. So this is your second time on here, Dennis, and it's like so we've already got your whole background story and where you've been and what you've done and how you feel about forward-facing sonar.
Yeah.
You still feel the same?
Well, I adjust to it. I use it. I have it,
Yeah, yeah,
and I don't do it to the degree that some of the other guys are doing it. I mean, it works really good. I mean, I love it. I can see like
yeah,
grass. I can see
yeah,
sticks. I can see
yeah.
brush. I can see fish.
Just
Uh,
just
the
just in
contour itself is just it's really you see the bait fish. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
a ton of bait fish. Like right now, I was over at San Vicente the other day, and up shallow you'll see a ton of like bait
yeah,
fish. It really is
yeah,
a little bit. There's a lot of bait right now
yeah.
over there.
There is small, but there's a lot.
So like the last few tournaments, um, I've been kind of busy, and then there's a lot of guys that are still doing it, and they're doing pretty good, and I'm trying to hold my own. I you know, do
Okay,
what I
so you're saying you're trying to hold your own. You've been doing better than holding your own here in the last month or so, and we're gonna get into this.
I know.
Obviously,
I know.
you're kind of
Yeah.
you're kind of on a roll, you know.
Well, it's
That's
it's like
why
so
that's why
old
you're
school.
here.
It's old school. Like when the desert lakes and things like that. I've never used any. I never like at Lake Mead. My whole career and life ever for 20 years, I never even caught a fish off the graph ever at
Now,
Lake Mead. I don't even
how
use it. I just use it for contour and the depth, and that's
yeah,
it. I'm casting.
yeah.
I do a lot of shore burning the shore, but then I'll get on some bluffs and things like that. So you can see it now. Now you can see like, hey, there's nothing on that bluff,
Right,
and
right.
sometimes I'm not really sure how accurate that really is. So you'll go on some really steep
Well,
stuff,
yeah.
and you'll span it. There might not be a fish there, but maybe how accurate is that thing? So I'll still throw up there, and you know,
Yeah, you still have to check it out because I mean it does if they're sucked down onto the bottom or if they're against that bluff, like you're not
yeah,
going to see them, you know.
exactly. It's like the
If they're
same thing that we
like,
have always seen on our old, any kind of old
mhm,
electronics. Even on paper graph back in the day.
yeah, yeah,
You can kind of see it etched in there, and
yeah.
like it's you have to really watch it. So I just you'll see like sometimes
It's
just a ton of fish.
it's kind of a hybrid,
Yeah.
you know, and it makes you so efficient, so much more efficient just by finding that rock pile
Oh, it
and
is. It is. It
finding
is. It is.
and knowing that the bait is there and knowing that this
Yeah.
weed edge is this way. I mean,
Like the
you
depth,
can't argue
like
that.
on my screen I have the Panoptics on
Hmm.
my Garmin, which is great. And then I went back to Lowrance and I have the 12-inch, live on it, and I could see, I can see a lot of fish, just on the bottom sometimes out there, but um, I won't see like some of the reefs and stuff like that. You'll do the contour thing more than with the topographical map that it's steeper here, and it's you can if you tone it in a little bit, you'll see the darkness of how it really breaks. The topographical map thing is really a big thing. And even in
Hmm.
fishing San Diego all these years and stuff, and with the levels of the water, so it can be a little different. So I
Right.
got to concentrate on that right now.
Yeah. 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 So this whole thing started for you like a little over a month ago, as far as this role that we were talking about, and you went to like the first day of the U.S. Open. I'm looking at the standings and I'm like, oh my God, there's Dennis Collender's in the top 10. like
Well, it's
this is
just like
happening.
it was kind of an interesting deal because we get information in the past and stuff like that. One of my friends goes, "Hey, go check out this point in
Yeah.
the lower basin." I said, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, okay." So I went pretty fishing and everything. I hit this point and I went and practiced and I caught like 3 or 4 fish and got quite a few bites on this point. I'm like, oh, that's a cool place. So I fished it, during practice, and I ended up drawing boat 8 the first day, and I'm catching fish throughout the whole lake. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to go over there the first day and go check this out. So I went over there first thing, and I'm on this outside. That's when you know fish move. I'm on an outside long point, and I'm fishing, throwing, jigs and topwater. And all of a sudden, I'm not getting any bites. I said, let's keep it rolling. You got to burn the shoreline. Sure enough, go inside the bays. They're in the bays.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate. We started catching them on topwater. And matter of fact, the first day I stayed in the lower basin all day. I really did.
Yeah.
And caught them in a kind of a unique area. And matter of fact, the first fish I hooked was probably a 3+. Probably a smallmouth. By the way it hit, and it smoked me, and it ended up getting in the brush and ended up breaking me off on a vixen. I'm like, damn, that sucks. So, but we adjusted and we still caught fish.
Yeah. So how many days did you practice at Lake Mead?
I practiced.
I'm sorry. This is the Lake Mead Open. It's not the U.S. Open. I made a mistake.
No, this is Lake Mead Open, not the U.S.
Lake Mead Open.
Lake Mead Open. I want to say that I practiced 2.5 days, maybe 3. And one of the days I came in a little bit early, and I ended up towing in one of the kids and his dad. Now, I was coming through the Virgin Basin. I left I was up in the Overton area, and I was coming back, and I'm driving through the Virgin, the basin, and all of a sudden I see this boat out there. I'm like, dude, what is this guy doing? So I go up there, and sure enough, they're broken down. And I said, hey, I got time. Let's go. I'll hook you up. I was worried about it because my boat was fairly new, but I towed it in from the middle of Virgin all the way to Colville, where I like to do.
Yeah.
So it was fine. I was able to. It was kind of interesting because I just bought a new Lowrance for my console, and so I was able to, while I was doing this forever, I'm like plugging in all the stuff I can probably possibly do.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was fun.
How do you break down Lake Mead? It's a giant lake. Do you just take it one section at a time, lower, middle, upper?
Yes, because I'll fish Temple Bar. I even drove up to Greg's Basin a little bit.
Yeah.
Looked around. I didn't look around enough in the Greg's Basin because the water's really low, and I was in this one area in Greg's, and I should have went over on the other side of the lake and ran up the river part of it, and I thought I couldn't go up there. So anyway, I ended up turning back around. My fish, like Temple Bar, I'll break that up. I'll go to the Overton, all the way at the end of Overton, and I'll go to Echo area and around Echo area. But then you got the haystacks and all that stuff tied together, where there's a whole bunch of coves just over, boom, 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 the haystacks and all the way down towards the other part of Temple. So, but then even the Virgin Basin, I used to fish Virgin Basin quite a bit, and the water was down a lot, so I didn't spend a lot of time in the Virgin Basin. And you got Benelli. I didn't go fish it this time. I didn't. I stayed semi-basic. Like right now, I've always caught fish over at Colville, and they have cut down so much of Colville that we can't even. There's a million fish behind the buoy line.
As in, there's like the buoy line's way out, and you can't fish behind the buoy line.
Yeah. In a lot of areas over there, and there's always fish around adjacent to Colville. The team tournaments that let fish go and things like that. But
yeah. So that first day, you were top 10, right? 8th?
Yes. Yeah.
Then what happened? What happened to the rest of the tournament?
Yeah. So the second day, I ended up starting again in the lower basin, and it wasn't that good, but we did lose one right at the boat, about a 3-pounder, smallie. So it didn't really work that well, and so I ran up to the Echo area and started fishing around there, and we started catching a few fish. So I think I caught one about 3 something on a jig, and then went into this one bait that had a lot of bait in it, and caught a 4-pound smallie and a couple other fish in there. And so I kind of stayed up in there for a while. And that was the second day, and I was surprised I had the exact same weight. It was like 1280. It wasn't fantastic, but
Yeah.
it was good enough. And so,
Yeah.
but the following day, I want to say the last day, I had a lot of bites in Temple Bar in practice, and I didn't go over there. And during the first 2 days, so I go over there the last day, and I even saw Josh Bertrand. Yeah, and he even said that it was sucking over there. And I fished a whole bunch of different areas over there, and we did lose one fish at the boat. Like maybe would have given me another half a pound, but I only ended up catching some small fish. I want to say I did not. The last day, you always have to go fish new water, no matter where you are, no matter what. If you're fishing even the desert lake, even though you practice there, it doesn't matter. You better go practice during the tournament. And I did a little bit, but I feel like I didn't throw the top water enough, and that's where it hurt me. The last day, I did not throw the top water enough. I didn't. And that's what kind of hurt me a little bit. And I think I didn't get the big bites. I got a limit and a little, so it was a little hard. I still got the last check. Still got, yeah.
So you cut a check there at Mead. Yeah. So did you go to Havasu after that, or did you go to Mohave?
Went to Havasu. Me and Bob. Yeah, we went and fished the National Bass West Team Championship. We love to do it that time of year.
Right.
There was, I'm not sure how many boats there was, but congratulations again to Norling. He came out and practiced only for like a half a day. That sucker.
Yeah,
he's matter of fact,
spent a lot of time there in the past.
I think he has, and so have I.
Yeah, I mean we kind of have. I mean,
and so are you too. And it's like
certain too.
We kind of messed up the first day. We practiced like we're gonna go fishing, because we love to go there and go catch fish. And first day of practice,
do you burn your fish? You burn your fish in practice?
And I said,
"You got."
I'm stupid.
You can't do that.
We know we're gonna go to. Me and Bob, we stuck 2 fish. They were over 5. I'm not kidding. It was like it was like brain dead. I said, dude, we got to quit doing this. No. Yeah, and then I caught another one like 4.5. I'm like,
oh my god!
The second day of practice, and I'm like,
and you wouldn't fish those areas anyway.
You're gonna fish them anywhere, but you just
in the tournament.
Do the area, how deep, how shallow.
Yeah.
So it's like, I told him, I go, next time we fish this a team tournament out there, we're going. We're not fishing. We're gonna practice for like 4 or 5 hours, and that's it.
Yeah, got to cut those hooks off.
I mean, we have like 2 or 3 second places and 2 or 3 third places and a couple fourths in that team championship or so.
Yeah.
But Norling, I think he's won it now 2, maybe 3 times with different guys.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think so. Yeah.
And so we ended up 10th place, and that was good enough to get us Angler of the Year. And so it paid for our expenses and stuff for the following year.
So that qualified you, and you guys made Angler of the Year for National Bass West, San Diego region.
Yes.
Or whatever, South region.
Yeah.
Right on.
That was cool.
Yeah.
We did that way. I think we've done that a few times, so it was cool to do it again. Right. And then Robert and Rick, they're really stepping up. A lot of things are really changing with National Bass West, and I see good things happening with them right now. They just got to put a little bit more on
social media.
Social media. They do. They got to do it multiple times. You got to be kind of a jerk about it and just keep on doing it. And
they do. That's kind of the thing.
You notice it too, and
like it's you think with just one post that you're just going to hit everybody, and that's just not the way it is. Like you have to repeat.
Yeah.
And you think you're overdoing it, but in reality, you're really not.
No.
You just got to keep
learning how to do that.
Keep going. Yeah.
Like Rick really stepped up. I don't know if you know, the half owner of National Bass West. He really has been helping out One Bass. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Rick was like, when we fished at Mohave, checking boats in. He was the one out in the boat, like checking boats out in the morning and then checking boats in the morning. I mean, in the afternoon. And so I think he's been doing quite a bit. So so we go into Mohave.
So then you went over to the U.S. Open at Mohave, and so tell me about that. Tell me
Now,
so how many days did you practice there? As many as you were allowed to.
I think we finished. I think we practiced with I practiced with my friend Jeff Pierce, and I think we practiced 3.5 days. And
that's right. You called me from the truck. You guys there was a bunch of you in this truck, and you called. You put me on speakerphone.
Oh yeah, we had Todd Hoverson, and we had a clan.
Yeah.
And one of the days I did have to come in at 1:00. I had a little bit of a electrical problem on my electronics. I had a loose wire in my motor, so Mercury took care of that. It was great. It was fantastic. Spent a couple hours, and
so when I just want to get this clear because I talked to Craig Taylor about this a little bit too. But so the Team Mercury is there. They got the big trailer. Yes. Team Mercury, like the head mechanics and whatever. Like they're not going to let you.
There's one head mechanic there. That's always. A lot of the other guys I've seen in the past have all retired. There's a newer guy. And then they had the Phoenix guy that was there too. If you had any major problem with the Phoenix boat, they had a guy there for Phoenix boats. And then a few
But it's all warranty work. You take
it's nothing. They just do it and you don't even think
parts, whatever they got to do.
All the rides are covered in warranty most of the time. And even English Marine came out. I think the next day they had their rig too for all the Ranger guys in different situations, and
they've been more of a Ranger deal. Ranger Triton.
Well, Ranger Triton, whatever.
Yeah.
So let's see.
So you had a loose wire in the motor.
Yeah. It worked out really good. Jeff has the same app as I do, the Ionic battery app. And we noticed when we came in every day, and even at the U.S. Open, my 125 battery that runs my electronics and the motor come in, it would be like 35-40%. I'm like, wait a second, something's not right. Yeah. So we were driving one day, and he looked it up on the app, and he goes, Dennis, it shows that it's not even charging. I'm like, oh, that's it. So that's when we decided to go to Mercury, and sure enough, they just found a loose wire, and after that, it's been. Like I'll come out the water, my battery would be at 90, and then that 125 would be like fully charged at 100%.
So
that's cool. I was worried about that because that we were doing that, and it didn't even have the live wells going or anything, and that's just that would
have been a problem.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then we practiced for 3 days at Mohave. Didn't catch a lot of fish. I did a lot of shaking off, is what I did over at Mohave. Really did. I've only fished. I think I've only fished 4 tournaments at Mohave. I don't, even though
I thought you were like old hat at Mohave.
No,
I thought
I'm
you've been doing it since the 80s.
I didn't. I fished a BFL in 2001. I fished a team tournament with Jason Bill Meyer, Jason Fox in probably 2008, and then I fished the U.S. Open in 2020, and then I came back and then I fished this one. So it was only been a few times. So I haven't, even though I lived over in Vegas, I did not spend a lot of time at Mohave. I'd go over there. So no, but if fish is just similar, got to run around and
a lot of dead water.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
We ended up getting everybody out there like sticking fish and all that, and I ended up doing something completely different. So I did. I had.
What'd you do?
I threw a jig. I did. And
a lot of they eat the jig there.
I think the first day of tournament, I had a limit by like in an hour. I really did. In an hour. But I had bigger weight, and I should have ran around, and I didn't run around enough. I thought I had 14, 15 pounds. I ended up only having like 13 something. So, there's some dead time. And I found that out the last day. Some dead time.
Right.
I really did. So the second day, The first day I drew Pat Donahoe's kid.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
and
seen his name.
yeah, and a lot of times, I gave him my rod. I said, "Here, throw this rod." So we're throwing the same thing. So we started catching fish.
Mm-hmm.
And he caught the biggest one of the day on a topwater bait. Like
Nice.
three something. So that was cool. Then the
Yeah.
second day, I draw Greg Wood, which was the Phoenix boat rep. And I go, "Oh, that's great."
That
I
worked.
it was good
That's cool.
because
Yeah.
yeah, and so we
Because
ran up.
you have a brand new Phoenix,
Yeah, I have the
right?
2025. Yeah,
Yeah.
21 XE. It's the first one in
On the West
California.
Coast. Yeah.
And Dan Merchants, I think, are the first 25 of 2025. But anyway, the second day started kind of in one of the areas that I caught some fish the first day, and it wasn't that good, but I did catch a quality one, caught one over 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we rolled and we ran pretty far up the lake and started fishing a few other areas and some shallow grass and shallow areas, and I caught that 533.
So you had a 5 and a 530, a 4 and a 533.
I had
on
a
the
4
second day.
something, a 4 plus. I didn't weigh the fish, a 4 plus, and a 533 were the first 2 fish. I'm like, okay, we got this going on. And then we went over and fished, just bouncing around, and I caught like a 4, like a good 4-pounder smallie, So I had 2 largemouth and a smallie. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I can get 20 pounds here. But we ended up catching a few fish and called up a few times, and I ended up with a 17 something,
Yeah.
Then the last day, that's a different, when
I know it
oh yeah,
happens.
I had Brenda Bates. That was cool. We had a good time out there fishing, and let's see.
Yeah.
Um,
Just licking your chops too, like 17 pounds the day before.
yeah.
Like, okay, here we go.
17, what am I going to do? Make a long story short, I fished some area that I did not ever practice in. And in the one bay, I caught, I think, our limit in the one bay. Right out of the bat.
In a new area.
I catch a 4, completely new area that I did not practice in. I caught a 4-pounder and then went in this one area just down a little bit farther in the same bay. And I what else? I caught I like a good pound, like a 3-pounder. And then I lost that big one. I mean, we're talking really big. I saw it. I'm fighting this fish. I kind of horsed it a little bit. I'm using an 8-to-1 maintaining them. It might have been the problem. It was a jig fish, and I see it, and it's a largemouth, and it's every bit of 6, close to 7. It was like, I think everybody in San Diego heard me say the F word when that fish, it came like right when the fish jumped again. The jig went flying and hit me in the face almost. And I'm like, that's how close it was. And I could see it. And it was insane. I'm like, it was sucked. That's how fishing. So I kind of readjust and I move around and I spin around and I catch a couple other fish in that same area. I throw out again and I forgot to retie because I'm spun. Because you got to retie quite a bit. When you're throwing,
you broke them off.
And I'm throwing 16-pound sunlight.
Yeah.
I didn't retie. I hooked this fish. I go, oh, this is a little one. I'm fighting it. I'm like, all of a sudden it turns. It goes, pop. I'm like,
oh my God.
So it was like, dang. So it was a rough one. Yeah. So we ended up catching a small limit. And we had a couple good fish, and ended up catching a limit out. And then I ran again all the way back up to where I caught the 533, fish all around there. 5 hours now, 5 hours running and gunning, never got bit again. Came back and fishing some steeper stuff. I'm fishing some steeper stuff, and I'm thinking, I'm not getting bit on it. I'm fishing 30 foot of water. I go, you know what? Those fish are deeper. I spun around, flipped. I threw a jig, a different, heavier jig, in about 50 to 60 foot. And I told my partner, go get the net. and I hooked one, and it was like the last like a couple hours of the tournament, and it's a 4+ largemouth, so that helped me out. That gave
Yeah.
me like 15 and a half pounds, and I think I had a dead fish. One of the fish I caught ate it pretty deep, and they're really right now that they're really sensitive over there. The smallmouths are real sensitive right now. I think there was some fish that each tournament that died, which is like there's a million fish. People have to understand there was never no smallmouth there
Yeah.
15 years ago.
I know.
Now it's like it's insane. Like
Yeah.
I've been fishing like the desert lakes since the 80s and seeing smallmouth, it's insane. It's
Yeah.
like if a lot of people don't see it, but I've seen like the progression of it, and it's like, oh, it's a different animal. And these things are like
Totally different lake.
oh yeah, same thing
I
like
mean,
that.
compared to what it was.
Mead is great. They're big smallies there, and they're ferocious. They're different than a largemouth.
They're crazy.
You've seen them. You talk to everybody. There was probably
They're
anybody
crazy.
that missed a tournament. They had to lose fish. They did.
Oh
They
yeah.
were
Oh yeah.
hook and big ones too, 3s and 4s. There were.
You hook them at the end of your cast, and they come straight
That
up
was
and do
the problem.
backflips.
I can cast too good, which is a bad thing. It is bad. I cast too far.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100 feet. You get 100 feet out there, you hook them.
When I fish with Bob, he fishes a little bit closer, and he doesn't lose the fish like I do. And I'm realizing, I think it's my long cast, and I gotta
yeah.
I gotta not casting too far. Really do. It's like it is.
What was it? Bobby Barrack. Bobby Barrack has this story about him fishing with Gary Dobbins and blah blah blah. And Barrack was bombing out casts, and Gary Dobbins told him, no, you don't do that. You fish close. For one thing, if you do hook one out there, it's going to ruin all that water all the way back. The other thing is landing the damn thing from 100 feet away.
No, I've done it. I even did. Yeah, I totally agree. I knew Bobby Barrack back in the day, and I fished one Bassmaster tournament when it was man on man. I fished with Dobbins at Elephant Butte in like 1999 or something like that, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a tournament that Art Berry won at Elephant Butte. That's when it was. Yeah, I fished that.
Oh yeah, Elephant Butte.
He was sponsored at the time by Procraft. At the time, Dobbins was. But anyway, move on to San Diego.
So anyway, yeah. And now you're back to National Bass West, San Diego, El Capitan.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, huh?
Yeah, not last Saturday. Saturday before last. I have my calendar right here. Yeah. And Bob went practicing for the tournament because I was gone all those weeks.
Yeah.
And I ended up he couldn't fish that tournament. He had a mountain bike race set up for months, and it ended up being the same day. So,
well, you ended up winning.
I ended up fishing solo, and he hooked me up, and I ended up.
Yeah, that was last weekend.
Huh?
Today's Sunday. That was last weekend.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm kind of messed up because my calendar.
Me too, because I was at the Lower River, and we were listening to the live Facebook feed on the way home Saturday night.
It was last Saturday. It really was.
Saturday night. Jim and I were like, Dennis got a 7-pounder.
Yeah, I had a 73.
Yeah.
And it was a good day. I just bounced
hell of a day.
And no active target at all. No deep water fish or anything. A lot of my fish came really pretty shallow. Yeah.
See, your partner just set you right up. Bob
He did. He hooked me up. I adjusted to a few different things, and it worked out pretty good. It really did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
That's
I
good.
think he's been my partner now for years. He was I was his best man in his wedding. I think he's been married now for 25 years.
Yeah.
And like people don't even know that Bob, he's been around for so long. He won a Western Bass tournament in the 80s at Roosevelt. That's how he won. Like he had a Blue Ranger forever. He won that boat.
Yeah.
I mean, he fished with,
Greg Gardner.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Greg Gardner considers Bob Palacheski one of the best tournament anglers in San Diego.
Yeah, he is. And Bob, he got to a point where he wasn't going to go fish out of town anymore. I like
Yeah.
the pro
Yeah.
stuff, which is fine.
Yeah.
You can bring on, it kind of is a waste sometimes and stuff. He's married and it kind of makes sense. And, a lot of people do it. I've seen a ton of people that did it. And,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jeff Pierce's dad, which is Frank Pierce, I fished against
Uh-huh.
him at, in Redman and some of the old Bassmaster tournaments that finally came out here in the West in the late 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was
So what was your weight for that day? Was it 18
um
something?
it was 1859, I think, 1850
Mm-hmm.
something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick Lerma and Jesse, they had 17 something. They had a good bag,
Yeah, I
and
know. I know.
they're hard. They're like us too, though.
Dude, you
They're
can't.
similar. They're not
You can't.
a scoper either, and we all know he probably caught them on a Carolina rig or a jig or something like that. And
Right.
we were catching Carolina rig fish at El Cap too, and
Mm.
of course the jig fish, but I didn't catch any in the tournament on the rig.
Yeah.
Really didn't.
So do you fish any specific kind of jig? Does you have somebody make them for you or something?
Yeah, I do. I
Oh.
have somebody making my jig, and
Okay.
it's been a very kind of unique jig, and not just the jig, but the way I use it is a kind of a different thing. It's completely different.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. I'm not sure yet. I might market it, so we're gonna see in the next year or so.
Okay.
I've had a domain now for about 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do it to make money. You just got to do it because you want to do it.
That's
Now that I'm retired,
yeah.
I got to figure out what I want to do on something, and I might have some time and money in the next year to see, like, hey, maybe I'll do this, because me and my friend Jason Fox from Boulder City, which is Jason Billmeyer, he was my team partner at different times when I lived in Vegas, and so he knows. He's been making a bunch of stuff for a few years too. So we've been talking about it, and so we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have them custom made, and it's nothing, nothing. It was pretty simple, matter of fact.
Most jigs are.
They are, and there's a lot of you just
But
mine are hand tied. One of the things is a lot of people, they use the skirts that just like push on.
right.
A real good jig fisherman knows that they're okay, but no, you got to hand tie it. You got to
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Same thing on spinnerbaits and everything. We
Yeah.
do the spinnerbaits, so we tie the skirts on. They stay there. The only thing that happens, you have a 10-year-old spinnerbaits, and what happens to them? That little piece of rubber breaks off, and then you got to skirt. So if you tie it in there, you just got to have the time. And I'm not like, when I was younger, I was really into making things, and I'm not that much anymore, of making it. So I have somebody else making it. And it's been very, very efficient. We'll see what happens here in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do this coming season? Obviously you're already fishing National Bass West. What are you going to be doing?
Yeah, we're going to fish National Bass West, and me and Bob have not even talked about any other team tournaments here. I mean, I thought about we might fish English Marine tournaments because of he's running the Ranger still.
Yeah.
We might do that, and I'm not sure if he wants to or not. And I might fish all the one bass tournaments now that I'm retired. I haven't been to Shasta for like 20 years, I think. And I thought about, I love Clear Lake and I like the rest of them. I'm not really too cool on the time frame, like Havasu. I like it more in May. Yeah, I don't like it's early. It's early, so it's anybody's game, kind of different than I'd feel more comfortable when the grass is growing a lot better, is what it comes down to.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Makes any sense. Yeah. So in the fall, I'd rather fish in the fall. But anyway, so I might be fishing those where, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
what do you guys have? National Bass West? Is it San Vicente here in a couple weeks?
Yeah, it's going to be, I think the 16th. National Bass West at San Vicente on the 16th. And So I don't think they're going to Otay. I have the schedule on my phone. You're probably looking at it right now, and I'm not really sure. But they're not. They're going like El Cap, Salmon City, El Cap, El Cap.
Yeah, no, they're not going to Otay.
Yeah, and Otay has been kind of messed up. I like Otay, but the water's high, and I don't like fishing it when the water's high. You know, the fish are
Well,
at it's the obstacle. They get in those tulies, and it's really
in
like,
the springtime, yeah, it's gonna be it's tough in the spring. Now,
yeah,
so this fall, it was as good as it ever has been
yeah.
in the fall. Chasing bait,
Oh yeah, there
schooling
was some good breaking
fish.
fish, stuff
It,
like that.
it was great. It was really good fishing.
Oh
And
yeah,
then you know, not compared to the last year, the previous year, 2023, it was terrible because all that new it was new high water, but it seems to
yeah.
have
New high water.
adjusted.
Now they're getting used to it, and then they're kind of dropping it, right? Didn't they drop a little bit?
Yeah, they're dropping it a little bit, but not much.
I'd like to see it. I'd pay money to see it in front of the tulies.
Oh, I
Years,
know. I
years
know.
ago in
Yeah.
2002, killed it over there. You know, like I was fishing right next to Bill Murphy back in 2002. It was me and Toby Luna, and in 2 days on some of those points, I was like, because it was like all the tulies were out of the water.
Yeah.
We caught like 140 pounds in 2 days. Like each of us caught 35 pounds of fish, each of us for 2 days. It was insane. And just, I do go back real old school. It was just big worms and crawdads. I mean,
Yeah.
if you learn how to fish a crawdad, people don't understand that crawdad fishing is the hardest kind of fishing if you do it correctly. It is the hardest. You
Yeah.
can throw anything else, but a crawdad is very, very hard to throw it efficiently. You know, all the guys, that mastered it, well, they understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Just trying to keep the damn thing out of the rocks, right?
right. Hey, since what do you know about Hodges? Is it still open?
No, it's on the regular season schedule. So it's
Oh,
not
okay.
going to open until
Okay.
March 1st.
Yeah, because I got a 12-foot Fisher Marine.
No, you did?
I did, and I got a trolling motor for it, and I got a battery. I have 2 seats in it. It was a boat that me and it was really John Luna's and my friend Paul Templeton bought it, and he's had it for the last 20 years. We used it years ago. I fished in Mission Bay and when Hodges years ago.
I've been kicking around the idea. I'm looking on the Facebook Marketplace for like a 10-footer.
Yes, yeah.
Something you
No,
put
I
in the back of your
already threw it
truck
in the back of my
with
Dodge.
wheels.
On the way when I picked it up at my friend's house, I put it in there, and I can almost put it in myself. It's pretty light.
Yeah.
And the seats weren't on it at the time, but it's old flat bottom, 12-foot Fisher Marine. It's great,
Yeah.
So I'm waiting until after the first year to register it, before I won't waste my money.
Yeah. And the thing is, with lithium batteries, it's
Oh, that
that
would
whole
be really
lithium
cool.
battery thing just a game changer.
Well,
For
yeah,
all these
it
small
really is.
boats and float tubes and
You know,
kayaks.
my nephew was telling me, he goes, his friends are using like Chinese lithiums, which are only a couple $100, and they're
That
lasting.
too.
So I haven't done that yet. I'm thinking
That too.
I might try one of those, but Bob has an old AGM. He ripped out he has the old school AGM,
Yeah.
which is probably heavier than the boat.
Probably is.
It is the heaviest sucker. It is. It's a very heavy battery, but I know it's a good battery. He's only had it for a couple of years, so he's going to give it to me.
So all those fish are still in Lake Hodges. They didn't go anywhere.
A lot of guys
the water's really not that far down. In
No,
all
and
honesty.
Leadham, I think Leadham bought a kayak. Tom Leadham bought a kayak. Yeah, there's a few. Yeah.
Yeah. There's I talked to some guys. I said, "How deep is it in the Narrows?" They're like, "I don't know, 5 feet, 7 feet."
That's
what? I mean, yeah.
You think it would be like 2 or 3? You get 5 feet. That's a different animal. No. Oh yeah. I think in the Narrows,
get to the edges of it.
Sure, the lake record was caught at the beginning of the Narrows by Gene Dupree, that 20-pounder years ago. But there's
were you there that day?
No.
It was at the beginning of the Narrows.
I think yes, it was. You're just right around the Narrows. Not when you go through the rocky part of the Narrows.
Yeah.
Where it starts, and it starts getting really rocky, where the no wake way is.
Yeah.
Once that no wake buoy disappears on the right-hand side, I think it was that long point on right. I could be wrong.
So just as you're coming into the Narrows.
Yes. As you
Okay.
coming into
As you're, going back towards the power lines, it's on
yes,
that.
yes,
So it's on the west side of the Narrows.
yes, exactly. On the right-hand side as you're going down, on the other
Right
side.
hand side.
But that's
Yeah.
what I heard. I'm not really sure on that.
Yeah.
There's some big ones in there.
Yeah.
Well,
The only place to kick a 20-pounder out that isn't stocked with trout.
well, wait, yeah, you're right. What is otai?
No, because the one in Japan has trout in it.
Yeah, what about otai?
Otai doesn't have a 20-pounder.
What does it have? That's it.
It's like a 19, 17, 18?
No,
18.
wait.
But they stock trout in Otai.
Oh, they did. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Hodges was the biggest one for a natural lake. It really was.
Yeah. Yeah, with no trout. Yep. Right. Pretty amazing. That's the genetics. I mean, that's where DVL comes from.
Well, look at Sutherland. I think like there is like no, we don't. I know the story about that one. That's not a
that's right. You were there. I saw you. We were there. We were there together.
No.
We both watched that one guy.
No, the lake record there was not.
Oh, yeah. That was a Mike Long thing.
They came from Dixon. My friend saw
that fish looks funny.
Saw him come down before he had a boat. He had a rental boat. He came down. I can't make this kind of stuff up, but the lady that worked at the concession and Toby Luna saw Mike Long bring a white and red cooler down to his rental boat.
No kidding.
All the way down. And Toby was the only one there fishing, I think. And he saw it. And then he went fishing. He came back an hour later with that fish. And it was really what the problem is because we don't have a bunch of Larry Bottroffs. So Larry could have nailed that fish in a second. Could have said it did not come from this lake. But we lost somewhere along the line. San Diego has lost. There was a handful of different biologists that worked at different levels. Mike Lembeck, Carl Robbins, and Larry Bottroff, which is
right. So, I gotta get him on here. Like
Larry?
Yeah. He
I saw him there at Jim's thing, and I talked to him. And he didn't even. I've known him since I was 12, so it's been like 40-something years, 48 years. Okay. Yeah. And he almost didn't recognize me, but again, I didn't have this, and I had hair like my kid. So he's like, "Who are you?" But no, yeah, I just noticed he's at. When we all get to a certain age, it sucks.
Yeah. Right.
Not sure how efficient he could be.
That's what he says. He's not relevant, is what he says. He says, "I'm not relevant anymore. I don't know what's going on at the lakes," and that's not even the point of the whole thing. We just want to get him. No,
you just want to get him on there
for the history.
You do.
Yeah.
That's why you got to get. Let's see, we're talking. You're going to get Jeff Pierce on here.
Oh yeah. I got to write that down again. I wrote it down one time. I haven't asked him yet.
Because he's like Lerma. Like Nick Lerma, we didn't know who he was for years. And in the 80s,
even though he grew up here.
Oh, he was fishing with his grandfather, Gene Ullman, right? Yeah. And he had a little teeny skeeter, and he was just a kid like 9 years old that was fishing with his grandfather, netting fish and catching fish. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I don't know how many years later, like 20 years later, I see this guy fishing, and me and my friend Greg Parks were at Hodges, and we go, hey, we started talking, and I found out he was the son or the grandson, and I go, you got to be kidding. He was in his 30s. I mean, beginning 30s, I think. And I couldn't believe it. It was the same guy.
Yeah. Now that him and Jesse are teamed up, man, that's for.
Dude, I know those guys.
That's a tough team, man.
It really is because they're very versatile too, and they don't really care. You've seen that.
Oh, they won't. Yeah, and they won't let you think they are, but they. Oh, absolutely, they are. They know how to catch them in every fashion, in every form.
And they can catch them shallow. I remember they had like 23, 24 pounds at El Cap shallow last year, and then they go out and smash them and have 20 pounds, fairly deep.
They're the guys that'll go out and catch 20 pounds on a daily basis anytime they go out at camp.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Are you fishing any night tournaments? Are they
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not either.
When you get older, it kind of sucks.
So we do 2 of them with my club, and usually that's enough for me. I'm like, why am I going to go pay for the experience of not catching any more fish at night and bumbling around and freaking.
It's hard. Oh yeah.
It totally is. And it's what kills me is the randomness of the guy in the back seat with a drop shot 10-inch worm, and they bring in a 10.5 pounder.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah.
I'm like what?
Oh yeah.
What just happened?
Well, I think that was. I was talking to Bob fishing night tournament. He fished with Roger Gordon. He fished some night tournaments, and he only fished a handful and did really good. And he told me, he goes, "You just got to go to a spot and stay on it."
And you're there when they bite, kind of thing. Like it's gonna bite sometime.
There's certain guys that really know how to fish at night, like Jacob Erpelding, and he used to fish with Morgan Holbrook, and they used to kill it.
Is that right?
Morgan has he's very good at night. Certain guys know how to fish differently.
So yeah, to counter my point, and I'm going to counter myself here. There's a number of guys that are always in the top at night tournaments.
Oh yeah,
you always see the same names.
And that is true.
So they do have something figured out, obviously.
Yeah. I never really
Nick Meyer in our club is one of them.
Yeah.
The guy killed it at night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, but I'm not there yet. I'm far from going, full speed night tournament.
Yeah. Well, my boat will be ready for you to buy in a couple of years.
Good, because it's going to take me a couple of years. It's going to take me a couple of years to save up for the down payment for that thing.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Just don't run it too hard. Wax it.
Oh gosh! You know what? It's really bad. You probably saw. So on I fished all those desert lakes, and I think when I fished Mohave, I think I wiped it down one time. It was bad. It was bad.
My god! Yeah, but you
and I fished Havasu. I did a little bit, didn't wipe it down, and then I call up Jake. He goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." All right. He came over, and Pranacono came with him. Zach, or Zach. I think it was Zach. And yeah, they started doing it, and he goes, "Dennis, I'm going to have to jack it up a little bit." I go, "Yeah, I know." I didn't. Because it was bad. He goes, "Dude, this is terrible." I go, "Yeah." It was like, dude, I'm like, I hate cleaning it when it gets that bad.
Oh yeah, and then it just compounds, and the desert sun is just like.
And you get the water is, even though we have
hard.
We never had hard water until the last 10 years here. Now
hard.
Yeah, it was different. Like I had my first Ranger. I don't ever remember even wiping it down ever. I swear. I don't remember. It was 1981. I bought it. It was in 88 at 371, but I don't remember ever wiping it down. So whatever.
So I keep telling, just for folks at home, I keep telling Dennis that I'm going to buy his boat. Like I'm going to be the first in line to buy the one that he has now.
Good. It's a great boat. It's ready to roll. It's a good boat.
It's so pretty. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very, very. No, everything is good.
So is it fast?
Yeah, not super fast, but it's fast. Yeah. For a 21-footer, I get it about 70. I have a lot of stuff in my boat, and I'm not speed crazy like I used to be. I'm already messed up my neck and my back. I used to beat myself up over at Lake Mead, and I'm like, oh, it's bad. And so now I'm I drive like grandpa to some degree, but I did test it out. One of the days of practice, me and Jeff were at Mohave, the wind came up in the big basin, and I said, "Here, I'm going to show you something," and I did, and I could get up on 4 and 5 footers, and I had to test it out.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was yeah. You have to close your eyes, and I can do it. You get up on top of them, and it's a different ride. It's completely different, but it'll beat you a little bit. It's tough, and it's interesting. I get 60. I passed up 3 or 4 boats. I can do 60 miles an hour on like a 4-footer. It's crazy. And I tried to do, I tested it out with this boat because I used to do it all the time with my pro crafts and some of the Rangers. But this thing, I got up on top of it and it was like, but at first you do it, you think, what, really? And then you just do it. And, like I said, you can pass people up. Oh, yeah. But when you get older, is it really worth it? And probably like messed
just
up.
beat your boat up,
No, it doesn't really. It's not that bad. Yeah, you probably somewhat. It's not good for it. But either going slow,
right.
It's good.
Yeah.
They take a pounding. I tell you what,
They do, and it's all the electronics, the trolling motor, and everything is just.
Oh yeah.
Good.
You got to go back and tighten everything up the next couple of days. I mean,
right,
buddy, anything. But no, it was pretty tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
So what do you guys? So I already asked you that, and I asked you about the jigs, and so we gotta go fishing here. I want to go riding that boat, and you got to show me those jigs.
Yeah.
We should go this week.
Sure. Maybe I got to go to. We can go to San Vicente maybe, or even El Cap. But Sam, I think
I can go to. I'll go to San Vicente with you. I want to go to Cap, but I'll go to San Vicente with you if you want to go. Like, I work on Thursday. We'd have to go Friday.
Well, maybe Friday it could be good because I'm going tomorrow. I think for a few hours with Bob. We're going out in his boat. That's just my phone.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, keep me posted. Give me a call.
Yeah, I'll let you know what we caught him on this weekend.
Man, look at
it might help. I don't know.
I thought we were supposed to do like a 30-minute, and then we got another hour going on this one.
Oh no! I'm kind of past this whole 30-minute thing. So I'm only doing one a week now. So we got to make them longer.
Oh, okay.
And so we're like 55 minutes.
That's fine. That's fine. We're good.
That's why I'm kind of just like letting it roll.
No, that's good. Yeah.
And people like the whole long ones. They'll come in and tell me what they like and what they don't like or whatever, and they just like turning it on and listening and
just listening to it. Yeah, they'll listen. They'll be driving and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't really watch a lot of stuff myself, and I had a few people say, "Hey, your stuff was pretty good." I'm like, really? I think I talked too long, blah, blah, blah. And, you never want to hear yourself talk. And it was like,
I know.
Oh, pretty good. And I'll go, oh,
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, thanks. So, I don't know.
Yeah. So, that you were like my second podcast ever. And, oh,
wow.
It was really good because you were opinionated and you do talk a lot. You're easy to talk to.
Right.
So, but you threw out your opinions, and that kind of inspired people to.
Oh yeah, people want to see dirt. They want to see a little bit of dirt, like, and I do, and I do it, and it. You've seen it on Facebook and Instagram. I'll tell you how it is, guaranteed. Because,
so what do you think about those payouts?
I have the right to do it, or I have the ball. I don't really care what it is. That's one of the things.
Well, you've been around so long, you felt that you had the right to do it because I
mean, I like
some dues,
Panoptics thing and all that, but I mean, things are changing, and it's really.
So what kind of electronics do you have on the new boat?
So I have the Ultra 2 Garmin for my Panoptics, which is really 126. 12-inch.
Okay.
It's nice. It's really easy and I had 3 of them on the boat, and I realized because I was with Lawrence for years, and I wanted to try something different, and I had a hard time with the mapping and my trails with the other Garmin. So I sold the other 2 Garmin, and I have a 16-inch Lawrence on the console, and I have a 12-inch up front. And matter of fact, they haven't been tied together. Me and Mike Walsh put them together, and like in the last few tournaments, I don't even have a transducer when I get up on plane. I'm waiting for it to come. Right now, it's supposed to come in the next couple of days. You have to put the through hole in there. I still have the 3-in-1 in the back, but when you get up on plane, you lose it. So I got to put that in there, and so I still have a little bit more to do, and I have to update them, which is kind of hard to do sometimes. But
so you have a Lowrance 16 in the back
on the console, yes,
on the console, and then a 12 and a 12 Lowrance and a 12 Garmin.
Yes, very simple. Perfect. It's a really good. Yeah, it's really nice. It's super good. You'll see. Well, I'll take you out and you'll see that. It's okay. That's all you really need. Telling you the truth. I mean, at one time, my last boat had 4 units, and it was kind of a waste. Yeah. I could gone with the 12 on the console, but I ended up doing with the 16. Go big and try it. I wanted to try it. And I have it with the BBZ bracket, and it's really neat bracket. And I installed it myself. It can be a little bit of work, but it worked out good. And I have, the Phoenix boat has a special thing up in the front for 2 units, so you don't need a special bracket. It's a fiberglass thing that they made, a shroud that's really made for this new boat. And so you
about time.
Yeah. And then you have one in the front, and then you have one a little bit lower. So when you buy the BBZ bracket, BBT, I mean,
Bass Boat Technologies.
Bass Boat Technology bracket. The second one, you get the real low one. So when you put it at an angle, it's even lower, so it doesn't override the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to see it. You'll see it when you see my boat a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And then the whole deck on that thing is like padded. That's what's really cool too, which is kind of a first thing for me. The whole padded front deck.
It's nice, huh?
Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's nice. It is.
I know. I've walked on my Nick's boat. Nick's got his FXR, and then Brandon got an FXR, and then another guy got an FXR in our club. They all have the padded decks, and I walk on them, and I'm like, immediately, like, oh my God, his deck's padded. Like, it's so nice.
Yeah. And matter of fact, my ice chest is padded too, and insulated underneath inside that. So that helps it too. So if you kneel down there, you can kneel down, open up your rod box or and do it.
Yeah.
And work on your stuff.
Yeah. What do you like about the Phoenix? Is it stable?
Yes. It's super stable.
Yeah.
It has a ton of room. It's very unique that people don't know that it has a rod blocker in the back for your buddy. And
alongside the seat.
Yeah, and it has you open it up and it has like those tubes in there, like 4 tubes. It has a little hole, but you just get the screw gun, take out that whole thing.
Yeah,
get the whole thing out, and you have a square about 5 inches square.
Mm-hmm.
You could put 10 rods in there. 10 rods
for the passenger.
For the passenger alone, just 10 rods.
Oh yeah,
like when me
my partner would love that.
Yeah, when me and Jeff Pierce went to Mohave, he put 10 or 12 rods in that thing, and then on my boat on the front, I've always eliminated everything in there. I've done it in my Rangers and everything. I take everything out. I never get any tubes, and I did put carpet in it. I did do carpet on both sides, and I could put 30 to 40 rods on there. Believe it or not, I only use one side for my rods. I have it kind of organized where I have reaction baits and stuff far away. I have my spinning rods real close, and I have other things in between. So, and that's one of the things too, as I changed to those 6 cents rod sleeves, which is not as tangling as the old rod sleeves.
Oh, you mean, are they neoprene?
Yeah, I got them from my partner. I got them from Jim.
Yeah. Oh, you bought those?
Yeah, we traded because he couldn't he had all of them. He couldn't put them in his old Champion.
Yeah, they take up too much space.
So I go bring them over. He brought me like 15 or 16, and we just swapped and I gave him
Right
a little
on.
bit of money for it, and now it worked out really good. Now I ended up buying another 10 of those things. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's and the trailer is a big thing on the boat. Is now that I ended up doing a tube trailer instead of a channel, it's super tight, and I have to put my boat in the garage, a 3-car garage sideways. So I use a trailer valet, and now I use a drill motor on it, and it's like so much easier. I can put it in like in that
Oh
real
yeah.
fast, real fast, very efficient, and it goes in
Yeah.
there pretty good. And
Okay.
it has shocks on the trailer. The
Yeah.
trailer is a big thing, and one of the things that whoever was watching this, if you have any boat that has the trailer, the grime guard, the rough stuff, you just want to make sure, even if they don't do it at a boat company, you have it clear coated. You get it clear coated before you go
Okay.
fish, because the clear coats, now you can wipe it down like you wiping down your boat.
Right.
But if it's just like a rough thing, once you start wiping it down, you can never get it clean. You
It's
know what I
like
mean?
rhino lining
Yeah,
kind
the
of
rain
stuff.
line,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're using a rag, it gets stuck in it.
Yeah.
And it just never gets clean. And I did it. You get a brush, and it dulls right away. So this thing has a clear coating on it. You pay like $300, which is every penny, and it's fantastic. Now
Okay.
my trailer's going to look good forever.
Yeah.
Real simple.
Right on.
Yeah. Anyway, right. That's about it, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we've done another one here.
Good.
Yeah, it goes really smooth. You do a good job.
Yeah, thanks. I just, you know, I'm an extrovert, so I can talk. So I kind of enjoy it. So to some degree.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your past month and a half here. You had some great finishes. You cashed a bunch of chicks,
Yeah.
and Angler of the Year for National Bass West, and this last win for National Bass West at Cap.
Oh
That
yeah.
was awesome.
So,
That
yeah,
was fun to watch.
now we're in first place overall.
Yeah.
First of the year, so we'll
It's a hell of
see.
a start. Hell of a way to end the year, and a good way to start the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Thank you. I'll
All
talk to you
right,
later.
see ya.
Bye.